This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Philly Sports Guy Show. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd. I keep getting those days. I thought it was the 22nd, but it's the 23rd today, and we are here talking about what's going on in Philadelphia sports. And we're starting off, obviously, the only team playing yesterday was the Fightins. They come back, especially after this past weekend where they did only lost 3 of 4 to the Mets. They come back today and they make themselves right against the Reds, and they actually do a pretty good job at that. They start and they win this game 4-1. Noah Syndergaard decided that he didn't feel like pitching on Sunday and wanted to go yesterday, and actually pitched a pretty good game. You know, the fact that he didn't want to pitch against his old team kind of made me scratch my head. It's like, hey, listen, you don't get the option to make those calls. If we were to make it into the playoffs and go up against the Mets in whatever series, are you not going to be able to pitch against them? You better figure that out right now there, Noah. But that all being said, he does pitch 7 innings in a game where we didn't really have a lot of our bullpen available because they were used a lot this weekend, especially having 4 games in 3 days. So the bullpen really was not available, and Noah actually goes and pitches 7 good innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 strikeout. So obviously he is not overpowering these hitters, as the Reds are not really a great team. But like I said, were hitting the balls to players, so only giving up 3 hits. 1 run was a home run to be able to score, and like I said, win 4-1. So he goes 8-8. That was his 4th win in a row as a Philly. Actually, I think he's only been credited with 3, but all 4 starts that he's had in Philadelphia, the Phillies have won. So he's doing his job, at least what he's here to do, when he decides that he feels like pitching, since he did not want to pitch against his Mets. All right. I'll let that slide because he did go 7 innings. If he had a weak outing against the Reds, I probably would be a little bit more frustrated about this. But in the meantime, since he's gone 4-0 and we don't play the Mets anymore, it's not going to be any more of a problem. We just need him to keep getting the wins because we're on our way for a hunt for a Red October, which I think is absolutely coming here soon, here within the next month or so, because I just don't think Milwaukee's going to have enough left in the tank to be able to try to come back and get back into this race. 5 games out of the division with St. Louis, who's been playing pretty well. The Padres are going up and down. The Braves are within 3 games of the Mets. So the Mets lost yesterday to the Yankees. which, again, the Yankees weren't doing so hot. But then, of course, after the Mets leave Philadelphia, they brought all their bats and left them in Philly because they didn't bring them up there, except Burrito Supreme, who happened to hit a home run yesterday. That I'm talking about Vogelbach with the Mets. But that all being said, I care more about the Phillies. And like I said, Noah Syndergaard had a pretty good day. Uh, the Phillies bats, Kyle Schwarber had a really tough day yesterday. Uh, 4 strikeouts. And it, he's been getting this low inside strike called on him on a consistent basis. He sits there and he looks at it, and it's close enough where the umpires are obviously calling it a strike. Sometimes it's a ball, sometimes it's a strike, but they're all in the same exact area. He lets it pass him, and lately he's been getting called out on strikes most of the time looking. And it's been very frustrating because the pitchers know this now. Umpires are calling it on him. So he's got to come out of this funk. He has not been hitting pretty well. Has not been hitting well since he got injured, and hasn't really had that like a home run swing since then. So maybe he's still battling that injury a little bit, and he wanted to get back into the lineup, a little bit faster than he really needed to. Hopefully, with Harper getting pushed off to Lehigh Valley, that will happen a little bit faster. Maybe we can give a couple days off to Schwarber and get himself right, because we're going to need him and his bat. As we get into late September and into October, we're going to need him to do what he does best, or at least what he did last year, and help propel the teams on a nice playoff push. So, yes, exactly. Chris is giving me the heads up. Derek Hall he's going to get sent back down. Unfortunately, he was the last batter against the Mets. I thought maybe that was going to be the case. He looked at that strike 3 pitch, was probably not the best pitch to take. I don't know that that's the reason. Done pretty well in Harper's absence while Harper's been on the IL. And I expect that maybe when the roster increases, that we'll see him again. But as of right now, he's going to go back to AAA because they want to be able to start to get everything else in line here on this last couple of weeks of September, before we start bringing up everybody from AAA and increase the roster to the 40-man roster for the playoffs, which are going to be here sooner than we think. Guys that did pretty well. Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm is he's, for some reason or other, that he's able to see the baseball right now really well. Gets 3 hits yesterday. Scores 1 run. The Phillies are still having a hard time getting guys in when they're in scoring position. They are the worst team in the league with scoring guys who are in scoring position with less than 2 outs. And then that's still continuing to happen. We need to really increase that. When you get a guy on second and third base, you need to be able to do the things specifically to get him across the plate. And they're just not doing it. And they got to. It's going to be important. These runs come at a premium once we get into the playoffs. And we're going to need to make sure to get as many runs across as possible, because our pitching, like I said, if we get into our bullpen right now is a little hurt. We survived a little bit of a scare from Sir Anthony Dominguez. He should be back here within about 10 days. Like I says, he's got that strain on his tricep. He felt tightness and soreness. They expect that that's going to happen. That's going to get okay here in the next 7 to 10 days, and he should be back in the bullpen. But we lost Newble. He's out for the season. So, as of right now, we are a little depleted from what we thought was going to be a strength maybe moving forward, as they pitched really well in July and in the beginning of August. Excuse my voice. Obviously, I'm still a little hoarse from this weekend. The Mets, trying to get, talk over its fans was a little difficult for me. I was able to do it, but it's actually strained my voice now as I move forward. Today, they play the Reds again at 7:05, and it's going to be Ranger Suarez going up against Nick Lodolo. I think I got his name right. Nick Lodolo is 3-4 with a 4.12 ERA. He's got 72 strikeouts and in 54 innings pitched. Ranger Suarez is 8-5. With a 3.31 ERA, 97 strikeouts and 114 innings pitched. Ranger's actually been, one of the surprises. He hasn't been a surprise because he actually did this last year as well, but he's been one of the strengths of starting pitchers. It would be nice to see him go a little bit longer than 5-6 innings, but that's just what they feel most comfortable putting him at. And when we have our bullpen in full, it's okay to kind of do that and have him there. So hopefully he's able to do those 6, maybe even get in 7 as we get closer to the playoffs, because he's been somebody who's been doing really well and pitching really well for the Phillies as we've been moving on here. And I am not going to be there at the game today, but they are going to be doing the announcing at the game from the left field foul pole. So if you are going to be in attendance, you want to go out there, and I'm sure they're going to have coverage, but you'd be able to get out there and get yourself on TV. I am not going to be out there today because obviously on Tuesdays, I'm doing my trivia in my living room. That's right, in Dolan's Bar. That's my living room. We're going to be there, and I'm hosting trivia tonight after the Ridley Park Bridge Vigil. And I know I'm talking a little bit of Delco stuff rather than Phillies, Philly sports, but Ridley Park is having a candlelight vigil tonight at 8 p.m. for the Ridley Park Bridge, just to kind of get something moving over there. They need to get this bridge fixed as quickly as possible, and they're doing everything they can to kind of get some awareness to that, get the news out there, let everybody know, hey, we need PennDOT to fix this bridge. So they're doing that. And then right afterwards, we're going to be doing trivia. But that being said, if you're going to be at the Phillies game today, go out to the left field foul pole, get yourself on the broadcast. That's where they're going to be broadcasting from today. Should be a fun little broadcast to kind of get involved with. I'm sure they're going to want fans behind them just cheering everybody on. So go out there, get crazy, represent Philly well, and show them that there's going to be some people there in the stands supporting our Phillies. That being said, let's take a quick commercial break right now, and we'll come back to talk about the rest of the sports that are happening in Philadelphia right after these commercial messages. I am a little bit behind the time. Here we go. Bang. Right now.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Wait, no, you gotta get me at the random. I'm not prepared.
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful
What's up, everybody? Philly Sports Guy here, and it's fantasy football season. And if you want me to announce your order of your draft, all you have to do is go to Cameo. Go ahead and look up the Philly Sports Guy and tell me who's in your draft, and I'll choose who goes first, who goes last, so that you don't have to worry about whether the commissioner's cheating and getting the first pick again this year. So reach out to the Philly Sports Guy on Cameo for not only fantasy football, but for all your messaging needs. I'll give you a shout out. I'll say happy birthday. I can say hello to the troops overseas or anything else you want to have messaged about. So reach out for the Philly Sports Guy on Cameo. And go Birds! Yeah!
I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get any.
And welcome back. I got some guys that are always helping me out. Chris is definitely somebody. Chris Lentz, he's always sending me different messages. I get most of my news when something comes up. He always sends it over to me, and he's reminding me to let everybody know about Williamsport. So obviously everybody knows that I travel with Philly Sports Trips, and there's a couple of things that I want to mention about Philly Sports Trips right now. First off, we are at 780 people to go to Washington. I told you we're trying to get to 1,000, so you better book now because we're running out of tickets. They only let us buy 1,000 at a time because we're taking over that entire stadium, and they want to at least have some tickets there for any Washington football team fans or Commander fans or Redskin fans or anybody else, whatever name they go by this week. They want to be able to allow some of their fans in there. They only have like 7 or 8 of them, but that's all right. So we're going to take over the rest, but you want to order your tickets now, and it comes with a tailgate, transportation. We're leaving from a whole bunch of different areas. So if you're in South Jersey, if you're in Harrisburg, if you're up in the Northeast around Wilkesboro and Scranton area, we have buses leaving from all of those locations, all going to converge in DC. 1,000 people going to be there for a tailgate. It's going to be a great experience. So you want to go with Philly Sports Trips. But not only that, for our bye week, right after we play Dallas on Sunday Night Football, we go to the bye week, which just so happens to be my birthday. And the Philly Sports Guy is going to be celebrating his birthday in Nashville. So, yes, we are going down to Nashville. And why would you say, why would I go to Nashville? You know why? Because the Flyers are playing against the Nashville Predators. So we're going to go down there on our bye week to go and celebrate my 50th birthday in the town of Honky Tonk. We're going to be on Main Street doing our thing there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go to phillysportstrips.com/TPSG. Let them know that the Philly Sports Guy sent you. You'll be able to find all the trips that we have. We have the one going to Washington. We have the one going to Arizona. We're going to Houston, Chicago. We're even doing a Dallas trip for all those people who do not have anything to do for Christmas. So you could go to Dallas for Christmas Eve. It's going to be a fun time. I understand Christmas is more meant for family. But hey, if you don't have anything to do for Christmas, or you just don't care about family, or you want to give yourself a Christmas gift, absolutely go down to Dallas. But you can find all of these trips on phillysportstrips.com. You just go /TPSG. That lets them know that I was the one that sent you, and you can book any trip you'd like. So definitely go with Philly Sports Trips from here and every trip you'd like to go to. Which brings me to our next big that we're going to be doing next year. The Phillies are going to be playing against the Washington Nationals out in Williamsport for the Little League game of the week. So obviously this year it was the Red Sox and the Orioles. Next year is going to be the Phillies and the Nationals, and we're going to be sending a group out there. So if you want to travel with the Philly Sports Guy out to Williamsport, it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, we passed by Reading on the way. Williamsport is not that far away, so it's not like it could be like a bus trip out there. We're going to bring many Phillies fans out there as we can. I can imagine there might be a couple of Nationals fans that show up, as there's only like 7 or 8 that show up anyways to the games. So maybe those 7 or 8 will decide to come out to Williamsport too. But it's going to be a big time. This is a small venue game. They only have like 30,000 seats available to go watch this game. So it's going to be a very unique experience, and they're much more hands-on in Williamsport with all of the kids and such like that. So you would have the opportunity to meet some of these big league players up close and personal, and you can do it better than anywhere else at Williamsport than you can. And then you'd be able to also see, like I said, it's just great to go see the Little League World Series. If you've never been there, and I have not, it's really fun. Obviously, I love watching it on TV, but it's going to be a lot more fun to watch it live. And of course, I got to figure out a way to get down. I want to do that hill and slide down that hill. So I'm going to be bringing my cardboard box, and we're going to be doing we're going to be doing that hill a la Philly Sports Guy style. So definitely, again, something that you would be able to get to. They don't have this up yet at phillysportstrips.com, but definitely if you want to write about it and get on the mailing list for that trip, definitely just go there and ask Vince to put you on the mailing list. And the moment it comes out, you'd be able to book that trip right away. That being said, there is more sports happening. Obviously, the Eagles did not have a practice yesterday. They had the day off. They are in Miami, just getting themselves prepared for the dual practices. I think they do more walkthrough stuff today, and they start actual practice for Wednesday and Thursday with Friday off. And a Saturday game. So they're going to be in Miami, and you're going to be able to see me talking. I have a couple of interviews lined up with some Miami podcasts that I'm going to go ahead and share once I have them happen. Because it's going to be a lot of fun, making fun of some of the Dolphins people down there. Who is Tua really their quarterback? Are they really going to be able to take the leap forward? You saw them practicing. You saw Tua by himself out there on the field trying to figure out the defenses with nobody on the field. That's kind of good. That was kind of remind me of Dak Prescott doing his hip motion. It was kind of Tua doing the exact same thing. He's trying to do everything he can to keep his job in the NFL. He's going to have a hard time doing it, but we're going to get to see how this defensive line. I don't expect many of the starters to play in terms of the offense, but I do expect the defense to play, and we're going to get a chance to see our defensive line against their offensive line. And I tell you what, just watching Jordan Davis go up against anybody is worth the price of admission. I'm sure there's a lot of people down in Miami that are going to be Eagles fans, as Eagles fans love to travel to Miami anytime they can. So I expect that there's going to be a good amount of people in that stadium for a preseason game, as it's still nice to go down there right now. It's really nice to go down to Miami at any time. I think they need a coat of paint for most of that city, as it's just the 80s is long gone now, and it needs a big refresher. But that being said, Miami is a nice place to go. You can go catch a Marlins game because you can get those tickets for free. In fact, I think they pay you a $5 fee to go in and watch the game. So you'd be able to pick up the Dolphins-Eagles game and go maybe see a Marlins against whoever they're playing, which really is unimportant because the Marlins are out of it. And also, you could take a tour down there of the Phillies facility out in Clearwater, which is also really close to all of that. It's only about an hour and a half away if you want to go take that ride. Maybe it's a little bit longer. I don't know. I've never driven it, but I know that it's all close together, kind of. Florida is one of those states that everything's, you get to drive up the coast to make that happen. Sorry about, again, my voice is a little weak still, but we're moving forward here. I'm going to press through because nothing stops the Philly sports guy. I'm just not going to be yelling as loud as possible anymore. So, uh, moving forward here, obviously later on in the week, we are going to have other sports that are occurring. Let me see. I think that I hate the advertisements on these apps sometimes. It's a big pain in the ass. You try to do something here and it screws me up. Saturday, not only do we have the Eagles, we have the Union going to be playing against Colorado. That's the next time the Union play. I thought earlier this week, sometimes they have games on Wednesday. They do not this week. They're going up against Colorado. Colorado is easy. It is down in Chester, Pennsylvania. So if you get the opportunity to get down there, go and take in a Union game. Really is a lot of fun down there. They are really exciting. And it's only a 2-hour game. That's the great thing about soccer is that they never stop the time. So you go down there, you spend 2 hours, and then you're back out of there again. And on your way home, you get stopped by my living room, which is Dolan's Bar, which is also a lot of fun. That day, the Phillies are going to be playing the Pirates. So that we have the Pirates in for 3-game sets right after the Reds, which we have for 4 games. Like I said, we end that on Thursday. So we have Christopher Sanchez pitching on Wednesday and then Wheeler going on Thursday. Wow, my voice is really kicking it today. Don't worry, I'll still be able to yell and scream and carry on every time I go to these games, and you're going to see me back at the games on Thursday. Unfortunately, I'll be back there for when Wheeler's pitching. I won't be there tomorrow or Wednesday just for prior engagements, but it's going to be a lot of fun in that regard. Also, on Friday, we're going to be down in Galway, so you would be able to see Hollis Thomas and some of the crew from Philly Sports Trips as we are going to Galway. It's going to, give me a second, I'll be able to tell you right now exactly there it is. We are going to, it's right on the White Horse Pike. It is the Garden State Beer Company, and we are going to be there and partying with 97.3 ESPN. This is the Eagles station down there in Galway, which is right outside Atlantic City. We're going to be having a pregame party, just getting people together, all lined up to go to Washington, just with the crew of 97.3. It's going to be a fun time. It's down the shore. So if you're headed down the shore, stop by the Garden State Beer Company. You'd be able to see myself, to Hollis Thomas, a couple of the other guys that are going to be headed down there, part of the Philly Sports Trips team. And we're going to have a great time talking Eagles with Hollis and getting everybody excited about this upcoming season as we get ready to go to Detroit for week 1. And I expect that this is going to be a great season. I have the Eagles going 11-6, possibly with, it's hard to find the losses here. I think they could possibly go 13-4 if everything falls the right way. I don't know that it's going to fall the right way. I think that there's always going to be some losses that come up that we just don't expect. But I got them going 11-6 and going to the NFC Championship game. I just can't see us losing in the playoffs. I have this vision. And usually, this last year I said that we were going to go 9-8, and I didn't know if it was going to make if we were going to make the playoffs with that record. We wound up getting lucky and making the playoffs. This year, I see us making some noises in the playoffs. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this, as this season unfolds. So again, I apologize about the squeaky voice today, but I'll get it all right. I'm going to be drinking my tea and honey so that I'm back in full effect starting tomorrow. But I appreciate everybody hanging with me today. Make sure to watch the Phillies. And like I said, if you're going to the Phillies game today, go to Left Field Foul Pole, get yourself on TV. It's going to be a lot of fun as they do the broadcast from the stands at the Left Field Foul Pole. It's going to be a lot of fun out there. In the meantime, everybody, have a great Tuesday. And as always, go Philly. Yeah. Have a great one, guys.